Mum called me one day and said, people are not willing to listen to this song and it should not be in a South Indian film. I didn't know what to say because we've had weird songs in the South. Mani sir is very involved with his song and dance as well. Singing or dancing ka to शौक बचपन से. And again, हर नवरात्रि पे लोगों के घर जाके we have to dance, perform, do all of that. Right? You see Meri, Jaan, it was completely in a car space, right? Which also as a song evolved over months because initially it was supposed to be in a club, then it was supposed to be outside. So that entire thing.
And then it's in a car.
I think it's come to a point where everyone wants it to become viral, right? So everyone knows that somewhere less is more, even for a viral. You don't want to do something too complicated and make it a dance show. Remo, so obviously I've been under his wings for almost 6 years. I don't think I could have survived the industry if I had worked with anyone else. It's become so cutthroat and so competitive. I'm missing having fun with
You know, here's the deal. I'm usually not out of my depth with interviews because मैंने इससे पहले, actors का interview किया है, directors का interview किया है. But I think this is the first time on Just to Film Me that I'm interviewing a choreographer, okay? A dance goddess, if you may. And I'm really out of my depth because I just hope that my questions are going to be, I don't know, like cool, easy, like, okay, Kruti Mahesh, welcome to Just to Film Me. This means so much. Oh my God. Like, thank you for making the time.
Thank you. Absolutely. My pleasure. To the best RJ and the best influencer of the year.
Thank you.
I couldn't have said no.
Thank you so much, man. I know what it means for any of us to be anywhere close to Mani Ratnam, sir. Ayyo, but let's start with that. Were you already in touch? Was there talks of a project? How did Thug Life happen?
Funny question, actually. So, obviously, Hindi has been happening for a bit. And I did get a call from them for PS2. And unfortunately, there were some date issues and things didn't work out. I was very disappointed that I didn't get to work with him. And I didn't know if that would happen again. But luckily, I got a call saying that we're doing a new project and so I would like to meet you. I said, yeah. Gana ho ya na ho, I get to meet him.
Meet him, yeah.
that was it. So I flew to Chennai and I met him. And Rohini, believe you me, this man is like a silent genius. You look at him and you know that the thought processes are somewhere else.
Yes, yeah.
And the way he spoke, he knew what he wanted. And in the first meeting itself, there was this entire understanding of going, acha, so this is what it is. And I was like, great. And he made me meet Trisha. He made me listen to the songs. I was like, okay, this is real. Okay, I'm going to pinch myself.
And it's Rahman. It doesn't get better than this. I mean, not to say you've done some phenomenal work, working around the Hindi film industry. Yeah. And you've had some stray brushes with the South already. Yeah. So it's not like you're new to any of this business. But here it's Rahman and Meri Ratnam. It's such a big soundtrack. In fact, the soundtrack is quite interesting because there's a lot that the soundtrack has surprised people with, saying that, "Arey, kya baat hai? Yahan par aap sugar baby bol rahe hain." I just feel like I don't think they are ahead of us.
Yes.
But we are not as evolved as them.
Not at all.
That's what I feel. Have you heard a little bit of that noise coming in from any corners?
I did actually. So, interestingly, I don't do reviews. I don't listen to them. I don't try to avoid. I do my work and then that's it. But obviously, the crowd and the sound doesn't go away. Mum called me one day and said, listen, they are talking about this and they are saying that this is not good and people are not willing to listen to this song and it should not be in a South Indian film. I didn't know what to say because we've had weird songs in the South with a lot of vulgarity happening. Of course. And I just feel that this is way classy and it couldn't get better than this for this situation with Trisha in it, with Rahman sir, with Mani sir.
For God's sakes, the movie's called Thug Life, man. Like, come on. I mean, I was like...
OG on it.
You have to be OG on it. Also, I do want to say, as I said earlier, which is that they're already ahead. Yes. And they've always been. Okay, we have to catch up. Okay, and we have to understand that just because a film has Kamal sir, it doesn't mean that you can't have a song called Sugar Baby.
Yeah.
Okay, and let me congratulate you, man. I just want to say Trisha looks damn fine. Like, anyway, she looks great. She's a fantastic actor. But to bring that out of this, performer, what was that like for you?
Um, so Jingaja had already happened.
Yeah.
That was my first song with him, and the energy of that song is very different. I had some 15 actors on that
Yeah.
song who were really amazing to work with. Then you come to a song which is Sir kept saying that this is a narrative. Every song in the film is a narrative. It's not a standalone piece. So I had to understand what the storyline starts and ends in the song. So when he explained this to me, he's like, we're trying to do like a music video, and there is going to be shooting, so we'll see that as well, and Trisha will be there. Now I haven't worked with her, and
Yeah.
I didn't know how much she will be able to pull off a jazzy number,
Yeah.
because it's not sexy, it's sensuous.
Yes.
The song itself is very sensual. So I didn't know. So I had kept a couple of things ready to try on her and see what looks good on her, because at the end of it, she has to look
Yes.
great, right?
Yes.
So when we tried, this was my favorite out of the
Yes.
things that we did. And when we tried it with her, I was like, I don't think we should try anything else, because it's therav, it's sexy, it's sensual, it's everything, and she's able to do it with conviction. So I think,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let's contrast the two, and that's what I'm so interested in, that you have had a Dholida, which is so much movement, okay, where you have an actor whose body is like an instrument, right? And at the same time, you have this, which is so, I mean, less is more in this case. I feel like less is more because you don't need to overdo anything. And I think the beauty of this song lies in the fact that there is less. ज़्यादा करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. And when, I don't know about actors, but sometimes actors could look at you and be like, you did that with Alia, what do you think, I can't dance or what? But I feel like, how do you manage that with actors? Do actors ever come to you saying they demand steps out of you? मैं इससे ज़्यादा कर सकती हूँ.
Touchwood, अभी तक किसी ने ऐसे बोला नहीं है. And
That
I
would be
think
awkward.
it's come to a point where everyone wants it to become viral, right? So everyone knows that somewhere less is more, even for a viral. You don't want to do something too complicated and make it a dance show.
Correct.
So that is a generic understanding today. Having said that, Trisha, obviously, in the song, because I've done another song with her, which Tamari, I think it's a beautiful track and a beautifully visualized song. So from there to Sugar Baby, when it happened, she knew that we are anyway going lesser in terms of the movement, in terms of what we're doing. With the dancers also, I told Mani sir that, listen, can we exaggerate this a little bit?
Yeah.
And he was very clear. He said, I like what is happening right now, because I wanted to add a few things. And he said, no, master, we'll just keep it like this. And I said, okay,
Oh.
great. So when I saw it on the monitor, I understood why he said
Why he's
no,
saying that.
no to something. And obviously you get to learn with these brilliant, brilliant people who've had amazing, priceless experiences. I think that itself is treasure, right? So
I love it that he calls you master. That's lovely.
yeah, I didn't expect it too, because यहाँ पे नहीं बुलाते. South में usually they call
Yeah.
Garu, master,
Of
whatever,
course.
right? Now, I'm 40 as well, but with him and his experience, if he comes out and he calls you a master, I mean,
Yeah.
you have to give your 200%. There is nothing that can go lesser than that.
You've had the good fortune of working with, more than one director who loves shooting songs. Like Mani sir said in an interview also that he loves his songs and dance. He loves, and you and I know because we grew up on
Yeah.
just watching Hamma Hamma and Kehna Hi Kya. And so was Mr. Bhansali, because I mean, for me, Dholi Taro is still like, when you say choreography, for me, it's Dholi Taro, because the top shots and stuff are so part of
Yeah.
how we are now used to seeing songs being choreographed. What does it bring to you as someone who works in this space to have somebody as a collaborator who equally loves song and dance? Like, what do you learn from them?
It's a learning process every day, I think, on set. And because I love being on a set, I think it just adds to it when you have these geniuses with priceless experience come and share their vision, because you won't get it even in an institute or
Yeah.
any kind of learning space or workshops. This is the workshop, right? So it's my privilege, and I think I'm very, very grateful that I get to be with such amazing, amazing directors who don't think of songs as standalone and there is a narrative to everything. Having said that, Mani sir is very involved with his song and dance as well, as is Sanjay sir. Um, and I remember something about the light was not fitting his vision. So on the tech day, he we did a run, but he wasn't happy with the lights. So he said, "Master, you go tomorrow. We'll do." So I said, "Okay, no problem."
So what did he do? What did Manisa do?
He actually sat till the lights were fixed, and the next day we were on the same call time, and we
Wow.
started rolling, and he was there with a smile because he knows now it will happen according
Now
to his
he's
wish.
happy.
Yes.
Wow.
So he's such a baby when it comes to these things. I observed he's just this one little thing, and he's anal as well, but he doesn't show it, and that I think is talent.
That's the talent,
Yes.
exactly. But I think your story has been phenomenal for someone who didn't train to be a dancer per se, for someone who was doing different things in her life. You know, the course of your life completely changed, and I think you might have spoken about this before. But tell my audience, who's probably watching us together for the first time, do you believe in serendipity because what happened to you?
I do, I think, because coming from a Tamram family, education is obviously academics is very, very important. And since my mum has been a teacher principal, so discipline and education was top notch. It was always priority. But singing और dancing का तो शौक बचपन से है. And again, हर नवरात्रि पे लोगों के घर जाके we have to dance, perform,
Of
do all
course.
of that. So that was a part of life. It was lifestyle. It was never something that I aimed to do in life.
Or trained.
I've trained.
Correct. But that's the same
it's-
training that all the South Indian girls get, right?
Yeah, so
You got to go to a
Arangetram
dance class and
yeah.
Pata class and Bharatnatyam class. You got to do that.
Yeah. So, and again in college and school life, competitions and national level, this, that, youth fest was a part of life. It was never the only thing that I want to do or want to become something. कि हाँ आज we don't want to go for lecture, let's go practice, rehearse. That was the attitude as opposed to no, I want to rehearse, that is why I'm not going to go to class,
course.
right? So I think that changed because of my dad, obviously. So when we were watching DID season 1, he was bedridden because of heart issues. And I did my master's in forensic science from London.
Yeah, I know.
And I came back because I wanted to spend time with him. That season, he was like, you should do something like this. You are meant to be a performer. I said, Dad, coming from a middle class family, knowing that you've taken loan, gone, studied, there is a lot of other things that I need to do. I can't be doing this, go joyriding on some dance reality show. So he said, no, you should try it. And that very same year, he passed away. Then I started working as an embryologist. Then season 2 came up, and I auditioned for it because I was like, I'll at least go audition. क्या बोलेंगे ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा? You're not great enough. Just go. But unfortunately, fortunately, that didn't happen, and I continued on the show. And since then, it's been focusing on dance. And
It's
I think
amazing. Wow, like what a story, Kruti. I think it's so amazing because, just full disclosure, Kruti's mum was my teacher in the school that I studied in. And oh my God, she was our favorite. Like, and she will always remain our favorite. Uma miss, okay? So I totally get when she says that, ये सारे शौक पूरे करने के लिए हम नहीं, जीते. We are all going to go to these, we will save all our money, go abroad, study, come back, get a good job. And she was, always discussed as, do you know what Kruti is up to? And oh wow, like she's gone to this university, and oh wow, like now she's studying here, and oh wow, she's got this amazing job. Until, of course, we watched you on DID. And then we were like, oh wow, like It's amazing, and I think that it wasn't just वो शौक पूरे नहीं कर रही थी तुम. I think even there you approached it with the same dedication that you probably would have studied, because I looked at you as somebody who really tread that path, and you found great mentors on the way.
Yes,
I think
I
that
did.
is also important to say.
Remo sir, of course, and Terence sir.
Yeah.
I think they both had something to offer to me. And Remo sir, obviously, I've been under his wings for almost 6 years. I don't think I could have survived the industry if I had worked with anyone else. And I've said this to him, I've said this to anybody who's asked, because I wouldn't have been able to.
Amazing. Do you remember the first time that you had been given the job of being a choreographer? And what was that like? Because I can't imagine how, because I think dance more than anything else is a very guru shishya thing,
Yes.
you know, where you are never above your guru.
Yeah.
You're always supporting them. It is their vision. But when a dance student breaks away and does their own thing for the very first time, it's very conflicting, right? How was that for you?
As you very nicely pointed out, Guru Shishya, this tradition I don't think exists anymore. Which is sad, because I personally believe that if you don't have a guru, you'll almost eventually get lost.
Yes.
And you need to have a mentor at whatever time in your life. You need to have a mentor. And I think with Remo sir, when I got to know that Sanjay sir wanted me to choreograph for Padmaavat, I had gotten to speak to Sanjay sir and had a meeting with him during Ram Leela. But that didn't happen, and then I was assisting Remo sir, and Bajirao Mastani happened. So I was there in between Remo sir and Sanjay sir, and I think that kind of set
You up, yeah,
yes,
of course.
for a lot of things, because I was there seeing one visionary and another visionary creating, especially Mastani's last Steadicam shot was brilliantly done by Remo sir, and I will never forget the way he set it in 20 minutes. I think that is kind of the geniuses that I have seen and I've got the opportunity to observe and be a part of. So from there, when I got to know that Sanjay sir wants me to do Ghoomar, I obviously went up to Remo sir and I said, this is what has been offered. And he, being the amazing person that he is, very happily and gladly said, yes, please go ahead, have fun with it and be amazing. And I
Wow.
think I'm just trying to be amazing and
Yeah.
trying to have fun with it.
Yeah. And I remember what Ghoomar did, right? Which is also interesting because given the fact that the training, which is probably when you're growing up, it's Bharatnatyam. And then there's this film dance, which is its own genre, really, because Bollywood dance, we used to make fun of people who go for Bollywood dance classes.
Yeah.
कि वो लोग किस नाम पे Bollywood dance classes. But Bollywood is its own genre, yeah. Let's not shy away from it. We all love it. It's something that everyone can do, and everyone tries also. So it's got this inclusivity. And then you go back into this really, taught form, which is it's not a language that you might know, it's not a tradition that you might know, but you picked up the nuance of this Thet, Rajasthani dance form. What was the prep for you like? What did you learn again? Because I'm so interested in knowing how you cracked Ghoomar.
So funnily enough, again, during college, I was from Ruya, right? So at that point, Youth Fest was a big thing. And no one from Ruya had done a group dance or anything. I was the first one to kind of introduce them to Youth Fest. So at that time, there's still Prashant sir, who used to teach folk dances. So when I got selected for Youth Fest, in that year did Koli. And we won a national award for that. But then the very next year, he came back to our college and he taught us Garba, he taught Ghoomar, and he taught Haryanvi.
Wow.
And of course, every folk is like a dialect, right? So you change regions and it kind of has a different nuance and it keeps changing. That happens from Kashmir to Kanyakumari everywhere.
Of course.
So knowing how folk dance as a language is, I knew what Ghoomar can do. But again, this Rajwadi kind of Ghoomar was very new to me. The nuance of dipping from the normal left to a right dipping made such a huge difference with the hip. So these kind of things I obviously picked up in
Yeah.
the 2
In the
months of
course of it.
rehearsal.
Yeah.
And Jyoti ji, who was the Ghoomar expert on that, when you see her dance, you would know what the nuances are, and that comes from years of doing that
Of
same thing
course.
over and over again.
Of course.
It doesn't come overnight. But we try to, as a choreographer, it's my job to pick up what the actor can very well define as that form and not lose the authenticity of it. So when you see this step also, it's only this.
Yeah.
It's not this as you see in
Yes.
Bollywood. So those kind of holes and understanding of Thera was what we had to work through. And
Yeah.
I learned a lot and I still keep learning and I think it's fun.
It's amazing. I love what you do, really. It's such a, because I always want with choreographers, like, do you choreograph it in your head? And then do you try, like, what's the process like? Like, do you listen to the song and do you actually physically dance? Because it is a physical thing you're doing,
Yes.
So do you what is your process? Like, do you get the song, do you shut your room, and do you have like a dance floor where you imagine it?
So every song is different,
Mhm.
right? So when I've also done love montages and where you see Meri, it was
Oh.
completely in a car space, right? Which also as a song evolved over months because initially it was supposed to be in a club, then it was supposed to be outside. That entire thing.
And then it's in a car. And it's one shot and the camera never cuts. And then both have to be perfect. I cannot. That is my favorite piece of cinema I watched in like 10
Sanjay
years.
sir.
Oh.
That's Sanjay sir, obviously. But as a choreographer, to understand musicality in that song and to keep it so precise that you're not overdoing it. At the same point, you're just going, it's enough. And you know, you need to get. I still remember Sanjay sir. I'm sorry, I'm going off track, but I still remember Sanjay sir with that one thing where he touches the head and then she cries. That was all Sanjay sir. And the moment that happened, I'm still getting goosebumps because that's when you realize the power of visuals, right?
Yeah.
That's when you understand the power of what your thoughts can do to other people. Yeah. So coming back to so go after Ghoomar. So every piece is different. So sometimes you just have to sit with a song and think of what you want to do. Sometimes it's a song like Garmi where I can't sit and think. I have to do where you have to do because then you can't have Nora going, wait, I'm thinking about it. And then
So you come ready with the step and you show the step.
No,
Ah.
I do it.
Okay.
I don't. I like to evolve with the music because what we did, Dholida was supposed to be shot a year before it was actually shot. So there were a lot of changes that were happening for me also as a choreographer कि नहीं अब ये पुराना लग रहा है अब इसमें मजा नहीं आ रहा. So then, but the hook step never changed. It was that from day one. But those kind of things come to you with the music. I feel that I just let myself go and then whatever comes is there in terms of the steps, movements. But when there are songs which are expressions, it's bhava, it's emotions, then you need to keep doing it and there is an interaction. You can't just have it in the head. Even if it's in your head, when you do it, it becomes something else and you need to let it develop.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it just becomes box.
I'll give you a compliment. Like, you don't seem filmy at all, but she is just too filmy, guys. Because I think सुनना है कि उनको शिकायत and all, like, oh man, शिकायत. I loved it. I love the way, because it is the narrative of the Hindi film song. And the Hindi film song, as we saw it when we were growing up, I mean, you take a film like Amar Akbar Anthony, right? Like Akbar Mera Naam Nahi Hai. That choreography, which is just बैठ के तुम dance कर रहे हो. Oh man, which reminds me, because you said Garmi, I want to ask you a tough question. It got a lot of backlash, that song, because they were like, oh my god, it's pelvic thrusts and what are you doing with women's body parts? And I'm very aware that you are a woman yourself. What was your thinking getting into that song, and did you ever expect this to go this way?
No, not really. Because, see, every person that is representing something on camera has an image, right? You have to.
Like,
cater
Nora's
to
a
that.
great dancer.
And she can pull off mind you, it still didn't look vulgar. It still had its own charm, the way she did it. And if it was somebody else, I wouldn't have had them to do it. it was only because it was Nora, and she's capable of making that Nora.
Yes.
Otherwise, it didn't make sense. And I mean, what are you saying? In African dances, what you see right now and call it twerking, it is their folk style. It is what they do as a street folk. It's their way of expression. So if you're going to watch it with a certain mindset, then I'm sorry, films are not meant to be watched like that.
Then
They're
every
somebody's-
song is dirty.
it's someone's vision.
I
And
feel
it will-
dance gets the fall a lot.
and it also very, very truly it gets that songs are used for promotions of the films. Songs I'm going to get a little bit like that right now.
Yeah, good.
They get used for promotions. They get a lot of backlash, and the choreographers still suffer from getting enough credit for it.
Yes.
And it's a really sad situation because when I am watching songs from 50 years ago, 60 years ago, some beautiful masterpieces have been done by brilliant people whose names are not mentioned.
Absolutely.
And that is really sad because probably at that time they were not hungry for fame, but they were still delivering masterpieces
Absolutely.
in the world of creation. And for films, you need to acknowledge that. It's not about fame.
And thanks to actors like Helen,
Yes.
Helen would always mention P.L. Rajmaster. Like, it's because of her that he is in our public consciousness even today.
Yeah.
And sadly, it is that, right? Because it's also a lot on the actors.
Yes.
Which reminds me, who I have been, like, tell us about each of these, actors you've choreographed, okay? What is Deepika's strength?
Very professional, very observant, very hardworking. Yeah.
Is a good dancer naturally?
Yes. She's also trained in Bharatanatyam. Yeah, and she's good, yeah.
She's thinking, yeah, she's good. She's good.
No, she's
Tough,
fab,
huh?
actually.
Tough teacher
Because
she's.
she's also, I am actually, I get it a lot. I don't look like that, but it's good.
I think Alia emerged as a dancer because, I mean, she was always a good dancer, but I just feel like what you did with her in Gangubai just made that acting and dancing come together. So, what are your observations about her?
But to be very honest, she picks up things very fast. She will look, she will observe, and she'll pick up on what is being given to her and make it her own. I think that not everyone is doing these days. Having said that, 2 states I had done a small piece with her when I was assisting Remo sir. That time also she was very hardworking, did some Bharatanatyam piece and all. She did it. But what she did in Gangu, she had already evolved as an actor, which obviously helped in the dance piece because she was not just catching the movement. She was thinking as Gangu.
Yes.
So everything, even if I'm doing this, now when you see this it has a certain neck to it, has a certain arrogance attitude, and it was still enduring. Now one of my assistants, Praveen, his name was, he would do it really well. Out of all of us, he would do it really well. So every time, the first time we showed it to him, we showed it to Alia and said, "Ye karna."
ऐसे करना है.
Every time she would call him, Anna, show it to me. So she knew what she needs to
Pick up, yeah.
and I think that's a sign of a great actor.
Yeah, true. Because also dancing as the character is important.
Yes.
You're not just dancing. But Nora's great. I think Nora's trying very hard right now to shake off that dancer image as well.
Yes.
And she's proving her acting chops. She just was in the Royals and I thought she was fab.
Yeah.
What is it like choreographing for her? Is it fun? Because when someone is perhaps, on that space, but they're also coming from a little bit of mujhe bhi dance aata hai. What is that like?
Yeah, she gives a lot of grief in terms of, no, let's try something else. And I think that if you are ready to be challenged in a way, in a very positive manner, is great. If you're someone who's going to get discouraged by it, then don't go into that space because you need to keep giving. That's, as a choreographer, you need to keep giving is what I feel.
True.
Because there is a creation and in that process, there is going to be a to and fro, right? So you need to give so that the actor can give back as well. So if she's ready to up herself and level up, then you should too.
Yeah.
So I think that's great.
It's amazing how we have an industry where the boys are damn good. Yeah. They are so good. Like you look at Vicky Kaushal and Tauba Tauba and you're just like, bro, I can't move like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Who's a pleasure to choreograph amongst the men?
I haven't got the chance to choreograph a lot of these men yet, and hopefully I do. Um, Ranbir, I worked when I was an assistant on Balam Pichkari. Brilliant, brilliant. Matlab effortless. That he's just effortless, and I would love to work with him more. Vicky Kaushal, I've watched his film and I've absolutely adored him as an actor. I think he's brilliant. And Toba Toba went
Yeah.
somewhere else,
Yeah.
and obviously Bosco and his team did a fab job with that song. Um, they're all good. Who else? Ranveer Singh is fab.
He's great. Yeah, so you.
Ishan Khattar is good.
Ishan's very good.
Very
I just
good.
saw him at Miss World dancing and I was
He's
like,
very good.
he's good, man. And of course, Shahid is great. But you
Yeah.
haven't had a chance to choreograph boys yet.
Not many of them. Varun Dhawan has, because of ABCD, I've done that. I've worked with Vijay Sethupathi. It's damn cute to work with him. Dancing numbers with men have been less. I hope that changes
I hope that changes.
because it's, I mean, I can do
Yeah, because they say men, men written by women.
Yeah.
I would like to see men choreographed by
By
women.
women, I'm sure it's going to be cake.
Oof, it's going to look good. It's
Yeah.
going to look good. What is it that you want to leave us with in terms of thoughts for the choreographers in general? I feel like what's also interesting for me to have you in the studio is because, we had Sarojji. Okay, and Sarojji the Great. And I felt like when we were growing up, we never thought twice about, choreography as being, Mardo ki Jagir. Thanks to Saroj Khan, because Saroj ji was there. She was the master ji. Okay.
Yes.
I also feel like now it's still rare to see a woman or a female choreographer. Why do you think that is? And what is the piece you want to say in, like, how do we have more of you or more of girls?
More of you?
Yes.
I really don't know because I've been asking this question to myself as well. Um, it's become so cutthroat and so competitive. I'm missing having fun with co-collaborators, co-creators. It's celebrating art, right? I think that somewhere is missing. Having said that, I do see a few female choreographers, trying to evolve in this space as well. It is difficult as a woman. I would not take that away from anything, and it unfortunately it is gender based on many levels. Um, but slowly, I hope it changes for better.
100%. And for all of those people who did hire you and did give you a shot, and they were not people who were yesterday.
Yes.
They were the biggest names. What do you have to say to that? Because I feel there's something there also that I may not be able to catch, but I feel like they're also making sure that on their part they're giving the reins to somebody who probably has more potential than the world has seen. Like especially with Sanjay sir and your story, I feel like did he do that because he felt that there was immense potential, and maybe have more of that, right?
Yeah, I do. I do believe that because he definitely picks up a lot of newbies and gives them the opportunity to explore their self and explore himself as a director with the new people coming in. And I think that's beautiful. Very few people take that risk.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just think I gel better with these experienced people than the newer people. I don't know, I think I'm an old soul within.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
very old inside also.
Old world, old world, old school. No, but it's phenomenal. It's
so the
phenomenal.
understanding, the maturity that needs to happen with knowing that there is an evolution with films, with cinema, but to understand that you need to keep certain things still authentic. It takes a lot to do that and balance it out as every technician on the film, right?
Yes.
So I'm still learning on many levels, and I hope people understand that it's not just a song.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. It's not just a song.
not just a
Words to live by with Kruti Mahesh. Kruti, I've been always wanted to talk to you, but as I said, I never thought I was capable enough to talk to a choreographer because I used to feel like, I need to know, dance and I need to know more. And I think this conversation with you has just opened this up for me because, at the end of the day, you're also coming in doing your job and you have a passion for the movies. And I think if you're passionate about the movies, and that's where the two of us,
Yes.
can have a common ground. Thank you so much for giving me your time and coming all the way to my studio. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Kruti Mahesh and I'm with Rotalks on Just to Film. And I'm super, super proud of Rohini and I'm really happy for Ro because she's won all these brilliant awards which she couldn't even hold. There was Best Influencer, Best RJ, Best Podcast, so many awards and I'm just very grateful that I'm sitting here
Oh.
with her on Rotalks on Just to Film.
Just